Arles boasts wonderfully preserved ruins, including the ancient arena, Roman theatre, the Forum and the baths of Constantine. But there might be even a better reason to visit Arles. To look at Vincent van Gogh's painting and see the shocking resemblance of his time with the current time period. In the description you will find the different locations of the walking route we did on the map. We start this Vincent van Gogh walk tour at Place the Forum, at the heart of the old town. It is a charming space lined with cafes, restaurants, hotels and shops, with the square crowded with tables and a bus visitors at most times of the year. Perhaps one of Van Gogh's most iconic images is that of the café terrace on this square. This night scene, with its radical use of contrasting blues and yellows, illuminated by the glowing restaurant lights and the stars in the clear evening sky, is instantly recognizable even in broad daylight. Café la Nuit is painted yellow with circular tables, and the lantern on its wrought iron bracket is still in its place, although there has probably been a degree of creative reconstruction to achieve the effect. The roofline on the left has changed slightly, and Vincent obviously used artistic license to include the church bell tower in the center distance. The cobbles have gone, and the artist has chosen to change the appearance of the buildings on the right, not including the fragment of Roman architecture from the ancient Forum, indicating that his interest was not in the recording the exact fabric of the scene, but more in capturing the atmosphere of the moment. From here we go to the next point, l'escalier de Pont de Trinquetailler. Although the iron bridge structure shown in the painting has been replaced by an equally inelegant version, the stone steps of the embankment and those ascending to the bridge are just the same. Interestingly, there is now a large plane tree by the side of the steps, and it's probably the same tree that appears as a spindly sapling in the picture. As ever, parked vehicles detracted from the view, as does a street rubbish bin. If you walk along the embankment, you will recognize another scene that Vincent painted. It was from here that Vincent painted another view of the bridge, Le Pont de Trinquetailler and Arles in 1888. La Nuit Étoilée has also been painted from this riverside. It is of course difficult to distinguish many recognizable features, and its essence is the evocation of the night sky animated by the pattern of stars and the river below shimmering with their reflections and those of a ribbon of streetlights on the embankment. Just discernible in the foreground are a couple of rivercraft, maybe with a pile of sand catching the light and two figures walking by. Today, this is the place where enormous river cruisers tie up and disgorge their cargo for tourists. La Maison Jaune is located near the main roundabout and the railway station. The little yellow house, once occupied by Van Gogh and Gauguin, was gone. Another casualty of the Second World War, but there's much in the scene that would be familiar to them. The substantial building behind the cottage is still there and is now La Civette à l'Ancien, a local bar and brasserie, much as is in Van Gogh's time. The railway bridge on the right is the same, but now festooned with overhead cables for the electric trains. The relentless traffic has changed the sleepy and languid air for Vincent's composition, aglow with vibrant blues and dusty yellows, but on a summer's day, the sensation of heat that is so evident in the painting is just the same. A little off the beaten path on the other side of the railway tracks, you will find the Maison de la Crau. Although it is easy to recognize the building itself, the surroundings are completely different. There's no sign of the stream in the foreground, and the rural setting with blue hills in the distance has been completely consumed by urban sprawl. Whilst we only saw the arena of Avignon from the outside, if you would go inside, you will recognize l'Arena d'Arles, a painting that shows a crowd enjoying a bullfight in the arena. La Alyscamps requires a small entrance fee to visit, and also be aware of its opening hours, because we just visited too late. From its gates you will still recognize La Alyscamps and the falling autumn leaves. Two paintings that are painted here, and a row of trees are still easy to recognize here. On the way back to the center you will find the resemblance of the painting L'entrée du Jardin public. Whilst plant and trees dies and infrastructure changes a bit, such as the gate, you can still recognize the ambience of Vincent van Gogh's painting and the current park. From here, it is a short walk to the place and painting of Le Jardin de la Maison de Saint-Arles. It was to this institution that Van Gogh was admitted into the care of Dr. Ray after the incident of Gauguin, in which Vincent mutilated his left ear. The fabric of the buildings is instantly recognizable, and the garden has a similar layout. Van Gogh's neighbors and other citizens of the town had signed a petition insisting that he be confined here, and this finally destroyed his dream of a studio of the south and poisoned his relationship with the town. The last spot in Arles is a bit out of town. It either requires a 30-minute walk one way on a boring road, but if you are by car, you can park right at this spot and it's a short drive. Le Pont de Langlois à la Vanière. This must be one of the best known paintings by Van Gogh from his time in Arles, and indeed, he painted the subject several times. However, the place at the moment is completely different to where it was in Van Gogh's time, and the bridge shown in his painting was replaced by a concrete structure in 1930, and this was destroyed by the retreating Germans in 1944. Subsequently, a drawbridge originally from Fruth-sur-Mer was reconstructed several kilometers from the original site and renamed Pont van Gogh. And this shows how intertwined Arles and Van Gogh are.